right there. Amen. Amen. I just want to say, you guys look amazing. You guys look amazing. Give yourselves a hand. Somebody say, she's good. Point to yourself. Say, she's good. My God. See, there's something about you learning how to celebrate yourself. Turn the music down a little bit. Learning how to celebrate yourself. Learning how to accept when someone else is celebrating you, because life is so precious. I mean, it's so precious. When I tell you, people are now just leaving this world, so we have to learn how to celebrate ourselves, celebrate each other, and really, really know who God is and what He has established in our life. And we were talking yesterday, and the one thing Dr. Connie and I agree on is purpose keeps us alive. So sometimes when people, they'll look at you and they say, oh, you're doing too much. Oh, you're always busy. To me, it's just who I am. It's not too much. It's like, purpose keeps me alive. Amen. So today we're celebrating the fact that God made us good, and we're reminding you that from the beginning you were good and you're still good. Amen. The trials and tribulations did not change God's mind about you. We are still good. She's good. One more time, y'all. She's good. Woo! Okay, we're gonna now have Prophetess Angie Wiggins to come up and lead us in prayer, and we're going to move forward this morning. Amen. If y'all would just stand with us. Praise the Lord, everybody. Come on, clap your hands and give God a praise. For this is the day that the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. Why? Because she's good. Amen. And not only is she good, she's great. Hallelujah. Precious Father, we thank you, Lord God, because this is the day that you have made. Father God, we thank you for this opportunity, Lord, to celebrate the women of God that have come out today, Lord, to know that she is good. And we thank you, God, that not only is she good, but we know that you're working all things together for her good. We thank you now for this time of empowerment. We thank you that empowerment lasts a lifetime. And we thank you now, Lord, that we have come to get an understanding. We thank you for those that you have already put in position, Lord, to feed us, God. We are hungry and we came to eat. And you said, if he that hungers and thirsts for righteousness, that we shall be filled. We thank you, God, that our tanks will not leave here empty today. We thank you for the networking that shall come out of this She's Good Empowerment Summit. We thank you now, Lord, that this is not the end, but it's just the beginning. We thank you, Lord God, for the overseers of this awesome empowerment, Lord God. We thank you for Dr. Collins and her husband, Lord God. We thank you now for what you're doing. We thank you for the support. Lord, we just thank you, Lord God, that the women that have come today, we thank you that the questions shall be answered. We thank you now, Lord, for opening up the eyes of our understanding that they may be enlightened. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. We have an official welcome, but I want to say welcome to each and every one of you. There's nothing like vision. Nothing like vision, and vision coming to pass. And it doesn't matter whether you are just starting or you're well into the game. Just know that if you're waiting for everything to be perfect and to be right, to do something, you'll never do it. So do it even in the midst of your frustration, even in the midst of people falling off, even in the midst of misunderstandings, even in the midst of just whatever it is that you're going through. Still start. Get started. And that is what this empowerment brunch is all about. It's about us getting started and keeping going. It doesn't matter your age, your gender, your race, or whatever. If you're alive, you still have work to do. If you're still living and breathing, you still have work to do. Amen. And so this Empowerment Weekend was inspired by the Ruth Project Class 7. I thank God for them. Y'all stand up. For the ones that are here, we have a few that's out. Y'all, I'm on my Class 7, y'all. God is so good. God is so good. But I honor you ladies. RP7, an amazing all of them are doing some amazing things in their own right. But they come here to get a little encouragement. Sometimes you just need a boost. Sometimes you just need another sister to say, you know what, you can do it. Let's do it. I'm going to help you. Come on. Yes, let me show you the way. You know, I thank God for some of our alumni who are life coaches. Now have gone on to become certified life coaches, and now they're helping other people produce their books. They're helping build websites. I mean, whatever it is, we have it in the house. Amen. And again, I honor my coach, life coach right here in the house from Houston, Texas. Who's going to be preaching tomorrow, but she, you know, I was looking for a way to expand the Ruth Project. I said, what's next though? They go through the Ruth Project, but what's next? And God says, okay, now it's time for them to pour back. But they're just not going to pour back just bootleg and willy-nilly. So I had to connect with someone who was already doing it, who was already established, who has the school, who can help me. And so when Dr. Connie and I connected, it just really took everything to the next level. And I'm so excited about that. Y'all, come on, let's give vision expansion. But as we move forward, I'm going to ask one of our RP7 ladies to come up and officially welcome you guys. Prophetess Stephanie. Come on, Prophetess. Oh yeah, okay, well there you go. Prophetess. Stephanie, lady, I ain't gonna say lady no more, it's Prophetess now, Brown. Now come on up. Amen. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome everybody. Certainly want to follow protocol. Want to honor the pastor of this house, Apostle Collins. Thank you, and our esteemed guests, and certainly our visiting guests for this week. Thank you all so much for being here. But on behalf of the RP7 group of ladies, and y'all stood, I want you to stand again. Amen. These ladies, we want to welcome you here to She's Good, the Pyramid Brunch Power of the Woman panel discussion on today. And Philippians 4:13 says, we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. And one of the things I found out is that the Lord uses others to do that strengthening through us. And so I'm grateful for She's Good. I'm grateful for Ruth's Project. And I'm grateful for you because we strengthen each other. So be encouraged, be uplifted, be blessed, and know that you are loved and welcome, my sisters. Thank you, Lady Brown. Prophetess Lady Brown. I want to introduce our guest. Now, I told y'all, the Lord gave me this vision. We were actually in Tampa because we have RP7 down in Spring Hill, and we have a few of the ladies that are here. Where are you? RP7 Spring Hill, stand up. The ones that came. Yeah, we got a few of them that drove up. Yes, so this is our second class down in Spring Hill. Thank you, ladies, for being here today. Deborah is actually, she's our life coach down there, who she directs that part. So when I'm not there, she's running with the vision. She went through RP, then she went through the class, right? She went through the life coaching class, certification class, and so now she's the director down there. But I'm so excited about what they're doing down in the Tampa area. But when we were down there, the Lord just dropped, he says, you got to do this She's Good thing. And he was like, I don't want you to do it traditionally. I want you to just be you. I want you to allow the ladies to just be them. To just allow them to express themselves and to be able to ask questions and to be able to just really be empowered. So that's where the brunch came in. And I had all these ladies lined up, y'all. But I said, you know what? We want to hear from some men too. We hear from them. We talk all the time. We talk all the time. Okay, sometimes I hide my phone because I can't talk. I don't have nothing to tell you. I don't have nothing. I mean, well, that nigga, what about? I ain't got nothing today. I'll I go somewhere, I go home and cook and just put my phone on. I'm just cooking. And then, yeah, because, see, I can tell the difference when I come home, and when he come home, and I'm cooking, I got the spread, look at all he come in, oh, baby, yeah, he just, I said, babe, now see, yeah, after the third time of you doing that, I know what it is. He like to smell food. I'm like, good Lord.
Let me jump in.
Hey, let me introduce you.
But still, see, I wish there was more men here. Because, see, a lot of times we men say we want to be like Jesus. But when you understand that Jesus, when the disciples went out, the Bible said that Jesus cooked fish and bread. So ladies, when you're looking for a husband, you need to make sure that on your list that you put on there that he knows how to cook. Now, it's not that I don't know how to cook, so I'm excited because she's doing my job. And I appreciate it. I mean, like, oh, thank you. You gotta know the Bible. You gotta know that.
I like that. But my husband does cook sometimes as well. I have like 5 jobs right now. I'm in Gaston County directing the program. I have Ruth Project. We have the church. And then I just started with the FSU women's basketball team as their life coach. So sometimes, when I'm tired or I'm getting home late, and when I walk in the house and I smell food, oh yeah, I'm the same. I'm like, oh my God. Yes. So it just balances it out. But I'm going to introduce our panel guests, and I said, okay, God, we need some men. And the Lord placed, I knew he was going to be here. My husband, y'all. Give it up for my husband, Pastor Carlos. This is the man that pushes me and encourages me. And even when he don't understand it, he just get quiet. I said, okay, he don't understand it, but I'm going on anyway, because Lord, I know you done. Then he started seeing me, walking in, and he'll see it and like, oh, okay. He was like, babe, you have me running up in these churches. You got me all over the place. I'm working too. I'm tired. But he's always there to help. So y'all give it up again for my pastor, my overseer. Amen. And then the Lord, I don't know why. Okay, so maybe a month before the conference, this young man, which I've known him for a while, but this is our first time really connecting like this. Life coach, mentor, Nathan Cohen. He was tagging me his videos, and he started this thing called Cohen Lights, right? Oh my God. And I listened to one. I was like, oh, this is the man right here. This is him. God says, oh yeah, reach on out. That's it. Because he was encouraging, and the things that he was talking about, they're really small, but they're powerful. So I reached out to him. He was like, I'll be there. Just like that. So all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. Come on, y'all, give it up for Coach Nathan Cohen being in the house with us, y'all. It's going to be powerful. I'm telling you. And then I said, okay, Lord, who else? I said, because, there's a lot of us struggle with the call. And all I heard was JJ. Because even though you want to run from it, it's right there staring in your face every day. You can't. I said, you know what, JJ Porter, let me call her. Pastor, I said, let me reach out to Pastor JJ. Reached out to her. She was like, I'm there, yes. So she is here. When I tell you God is raising up voices, see, we're too used to the same old voices, but God is shifting. We have to learn how to shift in this season. So what you're looking at is the shift. So come on, let's give them a hand. It's time to shift, y'all. And some of y'all are in the shift, so get ready. Like Kenny Jake said, get ready. My God. So we're going to have our our panel discussion, but before we start that, I want each and every one of you, there should be a card. Is there a card on the tables? Is there a card?
If not, we can get cards.
Yes. Yes. Because we want you to write your questions on there. If you have any questions that you want to hear from this panel, write your questions on there. We'll have someone to come around to pick up those cards. And we probably won't get through all of them, but just have them in there. You know, we're going to try our best. Okay? But if you have questions, write them on the cards. If you don't have cards at your table, raise your hand. Okay. There's a few over here, Stephanie. Okay. So just get ready for your questions. And what I want my panel guests to do is to, each one of them, I'm going to call them up, and they're just going to empower you about 5 to 10 minutes, maybe less than that. Just what they're going to share. They're going to do this, what is it called, like the quick empowerment. What did she say last night? Come on, Jay, help me. Speed, there you go. Speed empowerment. It don't take all day to get it, because once it hits your spirit, you can run with it. This is a seed. We don't die, we multiply. It's a seed. You water that seed and go. So we're going to do that today, and then we're going to ask questions. We have plenty of food vendors here. But we have a lot, and I hope y'all can just stay with us just for a little while, because this empowerment brunch is gonna bless your life, okay? But before we move forward, there's a quick scenario, or what do you call it? Dramatization. There's a quick presentation that we have, and where is Elder Miranda? Okay, so as Elder Miranda, go through there, Elder Miranda. As she come, and everybody else get in place, please don't step. I don't want anybody to step over these little holes right here. Yeah, let's cover this up right here. Amen. So, do you need to be, are we in the way? Or y'all can use that part? You sure? You can't do it right there? Yeah. How many y'all that? Come on. Y'all bring the church. Y'all got it? Okay. If it's too many now, y'all do what you do. Amen. Y'all give them a hand as they come forward.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are so honored to be here today. I'm Elder Miranda. I serve at Higher Dimension as one of the elders with these lovely, lovely, lovely leaders here. And Pastor Nikki came to me, she said, all right, I need something. And I was like, okay. And I said, how real can we get? And she said, get real. So I said, okay. But then, you know, the church in me said, real but church. So I said, okay. So I have my crew here today that was chosen for this dramatization for you today. And it's entitled simply, She's Good. And it's a story about a friendship. And that's all I want to give you right now. And I'll come back later and just talk a snippet more. But we're going to go ahead and get started. And so now, I hope that you're ready as you're sitting here. Imagine you're in your living room and you just got home from work and you just want to turn something on the TV, and you don't want it to be too deep because you don't want to think you done dealt with stuff all day. But you want to be entertained just a little bit, but enough to make you just say, So now you've turned your TV to Channel 5. Channel 5 has the Friendship Channel on it. And now, your host of the Friendship Channel is Michelle.
Welcome to the Friendship Channel. Give yourself a hand. I'm your host, Michelle, and today on the Friendship are talking about none other than friendships gone wrong. Wrong. Today we're talking about the story of Jackie, Sharon, and Tess. It's out of the small town of Louis, Florida. Let's see how their friendship has gone wrong.
Girl, thank you for giving me in, because who didn't know this? Oh my God. Girl, I do not want to hear your business today. What's wrong with you? You ain't been had a problem with it? Okay. Nothing. I just don't want to hear it today. Can you leave something to the imagination?
Girl, when it's good, it's good.
Hey girl, this is my friend Jackie.
Hey, so you're Jackie?
Oh, hi, yeah. Do we know each other?
No, but I'm friends with Sharon, but I heard a lot about you.
Well, I hope all good. Well, I'm finished, Jackie. Let me real quick, girl, look in this mirror. Ooh, again, girl, you have always hooked me up, girl. Thank you. Looking cute. Yes, yes.
Look good, baby.
Oh, thank you. Girl, what happened last night? You got to tell me all the details. Come with it.
You might as well stop with that skinning and grinning. Because listen, first of all, you know you're wrong. You are totally wrong. Look at me. You tried to hook me up with that girl's husband? Her husband? Really? No, you really. You got a problem. You know that? Let me tell you something. So you told me that y'all went to kindergarten together? Y'all even stayed in each other's house? Back in the day, I would have took that bait that you was telling me, girl. But no. Sharon, I can't believe you. Whatever? You feel that way? You can't do your friend like that, because you know if you did that to her, you would do it to me.
Oh, well, it is. You're right. I'm sorry. But through the years, I have just grown so jealous of her. Everything that she touches, it turns to gold. And I work so hard, and I keep pushing, but nothing ever happens for me.
You know what? If you get your heart right, things will turn
Would you please come by the salon today so I can talk to you? Hey, girl. What's up? We're good. How are you? I brought you here today because I just want to apologize to y'all too, because I've just been so jealous of y'all, and I've been trying to break y'all up, and I just want to watch you suffer, and I'm just so sorry for even acting like this. I didn't really know the damage that it was causing myself for doing you like that.
Sharon, we go through stuff like everyone else. We're not perfect. Why be jealous of us?
Because y'all have each other, and I have no one.
Don't be jealous of us.
Girl, just know you're good. Always forget it. And remember, when God made you, you are good. We love you.
You expected to go like that? The friendship channel. Well, this is She's Good, so at the end of every play we do, She's Good. Make sure you tune into the Friendship Channel next time. Two friends fighting over a pet pig.
Make
Miss Sharon with her crazy hair. But she got delivered. She got delivered. And we have Miss Jackie. Miss Cheryl. And that's Miss Candace. And Jackie's husband, Nick, Mr. Varante. And last but not least, the young lady who was most changed, Miss Tess, by Miss Valencia. So that scenario just came out of, me saying, okay, Dr. Nikki, do something crazy, daring, and just put it out there. Because a lot of times we will have friends, they say they are our friend, but they are secretly jealous of us. And we never even knew it until something like this happened, where Tess said, hey, some years ago I might would have did that thing, but right now I ain't there no more. And I gotta tell you, something wrong with you, because you set this thing up. And so everybody needs a friend that be honest with them and check them and say, you need to reevaluate your thought process. And so, once Tess told her something wrong with you, she was like, you know what, you right, I ain't got nobody to support my party. Let me apologize. And when she apologized to Jackie, Jackie said, don't worry about it. I forgive you. You good. I mean, even Nick, he was quiet, but he was like, why you jealous of us? We ain't perfect. We go through stuff like everybody else. And sometimes the person don't realize you go through stuff just like everybody else. Y'all just make it look good. Yeah. So I hope you enjoy. I hope you got something from it. The skit, She's Good. Awesome. And I'm sorry, I forgot to say that was written and directed by myself.
Yes! Put that out there, Miranda. That was awesome. Because in order to be good, you gotta know how to hold yourself accountable and hold someone, your friends accountable in this season. So that was awesome, Miranda. That girl is powerful. She writes these plays and stuff all the time. So, and I gave her that on a short notice, and she was like, I got you. So let's give her another hand. All right. So now we're going to start with our first panel guest, which is my hunk. Hey, don't let it go to your head. That's what he tells me all the time. But I asked my husband if he would talk from the standpoint of encouraging women to know your power, to know your worth. And so he talks about it. He gives this scenario all the time, and I constantly ask him questions. And I said, you know what, you need to talk to the ladies about that. So as he come forth, y'all go ahead and give him a hand.
How y'all doing? Oh boy, I tell you. Pastor Nikki, this morning, I was sitting and I was saying, God, what can I say to these ladies? And the first lady I wanted to say something to is you. She's good. God spoke to me this morning and he says, you could have easily said, I'm good.
Wow.
God said that your statement, the statement that he gave you, she's good, is an intercessory statement on the behalf of others. To where you looked at these women and said, not I'm good, but she's good. She's good. She's good. She's good. So be encouraged. I'm excited. She's good. Y'all good. A few years back, we was in Panama City, and oftentimes and some of you have heard me say this, oftentimes my wife would have me come up and share something. And I'm like, God, what am I going to say? And so I was sitting there, and only thing kept coming to me was chess. Don't know nothing about chess, never played chess, don't understand the game, don't understand the rules of the game. So somebody say, thank God for Google. So I Googled chess and the rules of chess. And when I Googled chess and the rules of chess, I found out two things about chess that I never knew. I found out that the most important piece on the chessboard is the king. Yeah. Most important. But the most powerful piece on the chessboard is the queen. And the reason that the queen is the most powerful part on the chessboard, because she can move in any direction. Somebody needs to be giving God praise right now. You need to say, I can move in any direction. I can do anything. Unhindered. Unobstructed. See, I think when James Brown came out with that song and he said, this is a man's world, it messed up some guys. But see, the second stanza of it is where you messed up when we don't get it. This world would be nothing without a woman. Beyonce came back and changed that whole thing around. Didn't she do it? Well, listen, ladies, I just come to encourage you today. You all are so powerful. I often say this, that, statistics show, the census show that there's close to 8 billion people on planet Earth, and none of us would be here without a woman. None of y'all didn't get it. None of y'all would be here. None of us would be here without a woman. But as I began to sit and I began to think, I said, the power of a woman, the power of the woman, the power of my God, what would I say? What would I say? And then the Holy Spirit just began to bring back to my memory. He said, listen, you're the last of 12, and you was raised by a woman. I lived in a house with 7 women. 7 women. But my mama was powerful. She's 88 years old right now, and she's still powerful. Yeah. I was sitting there saying, you know what? Yeah, she's powerful. I never forget one time I was sitting in church. Antioch Missionary Baptist Church. Beesville, Florida. Man, listen. They had just got them new choir robes. You know how we used to do in the back? They had to march in. And then y'all know they get in the choir, but they still get. And me and my friend Juan was sitting back there. We was playing. And the deacon was standing over there. He was going. And my mama was just standing there. She was just swinging. She did her mouth like that. Uh-oh. And she kept swinging. I act like I didn't see it. But then once we made eye contact, she said, so powerful, his mama could be in a full-fledged conversation, and you could be in the other room on the other side of the house playing, making all kind of noise, and your mama would be standing there and she'd go, wait a minute, hold on. Put that shoe back on your feet. Huh? I'm talking about somebody say, I got power. Say, I got power. I just come to encourage you, let you know you got power, ladies. Huh? God has given you this power. You got power, you got power. But along with your power, and this is what I tell men when I get a chance to talk to them. one of your greatest powers. Are you ready? I believe these are my time. I believe your greatest power is favor. See, a lot of men don't understand the power of a woman because they don't understand favor. Huh? Y'all know, I guess there's a lot of preachers in here. The Bible says a man that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtain favor. Just say favor. See what y'all see me walking in right now? I walk in favor. Huh? So favor. That's when the angel came to Mary. He said, listen, you're powerful, girl. Me? Yeah, you. I'm powerful. Because you have found favor with God. And the favor that you found with God gives you power. I'm going to say this, I'm going to get out of your way. You know what your greatest power is? Influence. Somebody say influence. See, I have influence. See, when I think about the Bible, when I think about influence, God spoke to Adam. He said, Adam, listen, in this garden, you have the authority and the dominion to eat from every tree in the garden. This God speaking to him. I'm like, God who created the universe spoke to Adam. But Eve said, eat. Here. Eat this. Now. Y'all know what he did? You got power. You got influence. So I said, I got influence. You got to use it for the right reason. Sarah told Abraham, go in there. Sleep with that girl. That's good. For real? Then she realized, as Pastor Nick often say, you don't give your purpose to somebody else to birth. So we have power and purpose. Make sure you don't give it to somebody, your purpose and your power, for somebody else to birth. That makes sense? All right. You said I had 10 minutes? You know not to get a microphone to a preacher. 1 minute. Listen. Just say I got power. Got power. You have power. You have influence. You have favor. Amen. You have beauty. And I often say this about my wife. The Bible says, when Lemuel's mom was talking to him in Proverbs, the 31st chapter, it says, a woman that fears the Lord shall be praised. So I leave you with that. Keep the fear of the Lord. Walk in your favor. She's good. Y'all good. God bless you.
Awesome. My goodness. He just turned into a comedian up here and everything. What in the world? But you know, what he said was so powerful at the end. And I taught a message about get rid of your Hagars. Because a lot of us hang around people that we think is gonna do our work for us. You have to get rid of Hagar, put her out your house. That is not the promise. The promise is the thing that you're supposed to carry. Your vision is for you to carry and give birth to. So in this season, we getting rid of Hagars. We ain't gonna carry our own baby. Amen. Amen. Ain't nobody going sleeping with nobody. We gonna give birth to this right here. Amen. Good point, babe. I can say that. All right. Come on, let's give him another hand. We're going to get through this because we're going to get to those questions. But next we're going to ask if Mr. Nathan Cohen will come forth, and he's gonna take the torch from where Pastor Carlos just left off. Okay, give him a hand.
Yeah, we got to be in this thing together. Let's tag I'm in. Do me a favor real quick. Well, first of all, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Real quick, Pastor Collins, come on, y'all give it up for one more time. Come on. Amazing woman of God. Need y'all to do me something real quick. I know that those cards was for questions, but if I can. Everybody, you got pen and paper in front of you. On that card, write, I can't. Real quick. It's a panel discussion, but I'm gonna do some little work this morning. Write it big for me. Write it big. I can't. Now, while you all are writing this, I'm going to read this to you. It says, many of us are wandering around, accomplished in many ways. They have fulfillment in many points, but we have a fundamental wound that stops us from becoming who we might be. Need you to understand something. Now, I'm going to make it short and sweet, and like I said, if I can be raw as possible. But, wait a minute, where is she? Hold on. Where's she? But this is Raw Church. I got you. Okay. So, it goes a little something like this. Stop giving sunrises to people that'll be gone by sunset. I'll say it again. Stop giving sunrises to people that will be gone by sunset. Okay? As a man, I'm the type of person where, of course, we love beautiful women. We love what we see. I think that that's the greatest gift that God could have given us is the stature and the posture of a woman. However, I don't want a woman that has been used and has mileage. We see a lot on social media and Facebook and Instagram that has been the demise of so many relationships, and it has been the demise of so many voyages and journeys of women and men, but more specifically of women, since this is a women's empowerment conference. Okay, so one thing we have to understand is that you have to know who you are and whose you are. Ladies, do me a favor. When you going to like the grocery store, the mailbox, things of that nature, please understand that people will see you before they hear you. Okay? So you going, not you, I know none of y'all do this, God knows I know none of y'all do this. Going to the grocery store with bonnets on, house shoes. I'm seeing hearts and carrying on to the store, and Jill Scott said it best, that beep, 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 beep. You remember when she said that? Okay, so you're seeing all of that, but then you wonder why you attract the type of men that you attract. You wonder why the men talk to you the way that men talk to you. I'm the type of person, I don't know if you notice, I'm a very strong attention to detail, and my thing is this: I was raised to be a gentleman. And I mentor young men all the time is that chivalry is not dead. It's not. Yeah, y'all can give it up for that. It's not. However, there's a caveat to it. Chivalry is not dead, but it's also not taught. It's extremely important. There is no reason why these women was coming up here and not being escorted. And I'm not talking about anybody at the church. I wanted to make sure that a gentleman was here to help the ladies. And again, when Pastor Collins was up, when Pastor JJ, when she was coming, I've been taught you stand, and then when the woman sit, you sit. That's not taught anymore. But see, this is the thing. Well, see, that leads me to my next point. Dare to be different. Know your worth. If an individual does not stand, if an individual does not greet you with a smile, if an individual does not pull the chair out for you, that's not the person you're supposed to be with. At all. We have to go back to the basics. We really have to go back to the basics. And one thing that I have learned to understand is I consult with my inner barometer. And I think that you should as well. Consult your inner barometer in order to know what you want, what you feel, and what you value. Some people nowadays, they just want the company of someone just to say they have someone. Spirits jump from one person to another. Don't let these spirits into your space. I'll be raw once again. Don't let spirits into your space.
Or your space.
Your space. Or your space. Be very honest with you. Be kind to yourself. Be real kind to yourself. You have to understand that you're not born knowing your identity. So that leads me to the point of why Pastor Collins asked me to speak on knowing your identity. Again, know who you are and whose you are.
That's good.
Extremely important that in everything that you understand that there is nothing wrong with first knowing yourself. Nothing wrong with spending time by yourself. Don't be so quick to cling to something in which you're not equally yoked to. And I'm not just talking about marriage. You need someone that is equally yoked in the ideas of life. The ideas of knowing how to treat a woman. Now, I'll be honest with you. I'll be very transparent. I don't even know where I'm going here, but it's fine. I'll be very transparent. 2008, I was engaged. And my fiance, who we're actually still friends, she moved to Fort Lauderdale. Okay, I was finishing graduate school here in Tallahassee. I lived here for 11 years. And then she moved to Tallahassee. She moved back to Fort Lauderdale. I was here. We tried the long distance things for 6 months, but unfortunately it did not work. She ended up marrying another guy, had kids with this individual. And, unfortunately, she's now going through a separation or a divorce. Okay? She's a great girl. She's a wonderful girl. But now she is trying to work her way back in. And then this is what I said. I know the thing that says she's good, but he's good. There's nothing wrong, again, with being by yourself. Take that opportunity to get to know yourself. It's okay. Journal, you can do that. Understand that your life is constantly changing. Okay? The youngest individual in here to the oldest individual in here, your life is going to change daily. Don't be afraid of the change. Embrace it. Do me a favor. Find someone that's sitting at the table next to you. Doesn't matter who it is. Grab their hand. Ain't no corona in here. We good. We're coming. We're coming. If y'all are nervous, there's some hand sanitizer up there on the clock. Y'all can grab something for y'all eat. All right. Look at your neighbor. Right now, we're going to do some validation. Because I think the thing about it is we're getting validation from the wrong places. But I think if we're all in here connected, the validation is actually going to be very valid. Okay? Look at the individual and say, sweetheart, you're good. Shh, real quick. One more time. And when you say it, everybody just quiet. and listen to your heart. Sweetheart?
Sweetheart.
You're good.
You're good.
Shh. Where did your mind take you? Did you actually validate yourself that you're good? Or did you say it just because I asked you to say it? From this day forth, and even forevermore, wake up in the morning. Don't be so quick to jump on Instagram and Facebook to see what was going on. Give God thanks for waking you up. Head to the mirror and say, you're good. My time is up. She said I had 10 minutes and I want to stick to my time. Do me this favor. You remember that I can't that you wrote? Everybody pick it up. I need the I can't to face you. Okay, you see it? Think about just for a moment all the things that you said that you can't or could not do. Matter of fact, start speaking some of the things that, and let's be very transparent, let's be honest. I really want the atmosphere to be filled with, and there's a purpose. I want the atmosphere to really be filled with things that you think you can't do. Let's hear it, come on. Just talk, come on. Things that I heard I can't own my own business. Just say things that you feel that you can't do. Someone told you that you can't do. If I could, no music. Yeah. Just say whatever you feel. If it is something that you feel that you can't say, think it within yourself. It's fine. Okay. Okay. Now, do me a favor. I can't. I-C-A-N''T. Do me a favor, and I want to hear it. I want you to rip that apostrophe T off that paper.
My God.
Now, on the count of 3, I want to hear exactly what that paper says. 1, 2, 3. Now watch how this thing shifts, Pastor Collins. Now I want you to feel the atmosphere and I want to hear it. Everything that you can do. Come on, keep going. Even my man back there talking about, oh yeah, I can do this and I can do that. Before he trying to turn up music. See, this is the thing. Self-validation. And it starts with the mind. Success, I tell people all the time when I go speak several places, and I promise you I'm done. I'm putting this phone down just because of that. When I go places and I tell people all the time, success starts with the second letter. You. Success starts with the second letter, you. Now, see how the trajectory of things changed, because when you were saying that I can't, I heard I can't open my own business and I don't know what I can't do. You heard a lot of that. You know, and y'all went straight to church on me. I can do all things through Christ that strength. And that is very true. But faith without works is dead. You can do all things, but if you're going to sit there and watch Dr. Phil and Oprah and Iyanla fix my life all day, nothing's going to happen. Moving forward, anytime you feel that there's doubt or someone tells you of what you can't do, remember that sound that you heard in this atmosphere this morning when you was ripping that apostrophe T off that paper. And know without a shadow of a doubt that you can and that you're good. God bless you.
Yes, I can and I will, and she's good. All right. My God, we are being pushed and empowered today. And I'm telling, oh yeah, JJ, you gonna close us out. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, yes. Because after you know who you are, and you know you have purpose, and you know you can, then guess what? You gotta accept it. So come on, JJ, give her a hand as Pastor JJ come up, share with us. Woo, 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 woo.
They wrong, aren't they? Make me come behind them. We're going to be really, really quick. I'm ready to get into these questions. I'm going to tell y'all all my business during the Q&A or everything. I just want to wrap up and leave everybody with the thought of give your pain a voice.
All right.
I believe that answering the call has much to do, or all to do, with knowing your identity. When you are born with the womb, but you come from a womb. So now you're traveling all the way until the age that you are now, getting to know who you are because you're born without an identity. The thing about the enemy is the same thing he tried to do with Eve, is he tries to trip us up by allowing life to make us identify with things that was never supposed to attach to us. And now the womb that you're born with is filled with bitterness, resentment, pain, rejection from the things that you have encountered. But quickly, and I don't want to go into it too much until we get into the questions, but there's a scripture after Eve eats the apple and she feels like she's lost her identity of who she's supposed to be. God reminds her of something in the garden. He says that even though he bruised your heel, you will bruise his head. He was telling Eve to take the pain, to take the shame, take the disappointment, take the mistakes, and make it out of something that the enemy thought would hold you down. I just want to leave you ladies with the encouragement to not leave here without giving your pain a voice. The very thing that the enemy tried to make you identify with that was never supposed to belong to you, there's things that you are carrying in your womb that does not belong in your DNA. I need you today to disassociate with the DNA that does not belong to you. Give your pain a voice. When I mean give your pain a voice, that means when we start asking these questions, if you have a question, say, I got something that I need to ask. Give your pain a voice is opening up your mouth and say that I have an identity that I know was not given to me by God. And to break yourself away from that by giving your pain a voice. I leave you with the thought that even though he bruised your heel, you can bruise his head.
God, give your pain a voice. That is so good, because oftentimes what we do is we allow the pain and the shame to shut us down. Now we don't have a voice. We allow those things to take our voice. So now when you give it a voice and say, you know what, yeah, like the girl in the play, she said, I was jealous. Sometimes you have to say what it is, because all of us has something in us that God wants to correct, that he wants us to shift. That we need. Deliverance is an everyday process. Every day. If you say you don't need deliverance, then I don't know who you are. But deliverance is not just someone throwing up in a bucket. Deliverance is when God takes you from one place to another. See, over here, I was thinking like this about myself, but now my mind has shifted. You have just entered into deliverance. As soon as your mind shifted, you've been delivered. We look at people and judge, and oh, she needs deliverance. You too. Yes. And that's how she becomes good. There was a time when I was so frustrated with myself because I couldn't trust myself to make decisions. I felt like all the decisions that I was making were bad. I carried it well, but I was shamed. Walking around just shame. And shame has a look. Shame starts taking, when it attaches to you from the inside, it starts causing all kind of stuff to take place in your body. Frustration starts speaking more than the faith that you say you walk in. I'm talking to Christians. I'm talking to some believers right now. Because there's sometimes You know, you can grade yourself according to your faith. When the squeeze is on, what comes out your mouth? When the squeeze is on, what do you do? When the squeeze is on, oh, y'all don't hear. When the squeeze is on, when things don't feel good, when things don't, because see, back there, I was frustrated a little bit this morning. Miracle, she's back there. She said, okay, Pastor Nikki, breathe. Pastor Nikki, breathe. We're going to get rid of all the negative energy. I said, girl, thank you, Jesus. I'm telling you, because when you're doing something, when you're a visionary, stuff going to come up. But you have to remind yourself of what you're doing. Oh, my God. You're changing lives. You think the enemy going to sit back and not allow, and just allow you to just run rampant for the kingdom? No, he's going to be there to try to destroy. So we have to know that when the squeeze is on, we got to take that same stance where we were when they told us yes. When they told us, oh, all is well. And how happy your happy dance, you got to do that even in the midst of when you get the bad news. Yeah, even when the doctor tell you, oh, well, give you some bad news, you got to take that same stance. The devil is a lie. I might cry tonight, but I'm still going to bruise your head. Oh, I might cry. Yeah. I might be a little shaky, but your head is still going to be bruised. I'm going to go through this, but I'm going to come out healed. I'm still going to be delivered. Yeah, because when you go through your healing, that's a deliverance process. When you order a pizza, you call it in, right? And you tell them you want it delivered. You don't feel like going to get it. You say, oh, can you deliver it? So that driver is taking that pizza from Pizza Hut to your house. That's deliverance. Oh my God. When you tell God, oh God, that you know this thing in me, I don't want it no more. This don't belong to me. Oh God, and then the Holy Spirit starts moving because he the one brings forth the deliverance. And so he says, okay, come on, baby, if you just submit to me, I'm going to take you from this place to the next place. From poverty into wealth. I'm going to take you from sickness into health. You get your deliverance. When you're going from a what to a wonder where people are talking about, well, what's she doing? What she thinks she's doing? Oh, until now, I wonder how she did it. Yeah, he's taking you from a what to a wonder. Oh my God. She's good. It's about deliverance. It's about us shifting our mindset. It's about us getting in position, knowing who we are, knowing our identity, and knowing the power that we have to bruise his head. Because we're not perfect. I don't care how much you want to be perfect and you think you the Holy Ghost big sister or little sister, or you just a Holy Ghost junior. You still need him. We need him. Yeah, we need him. We all need him, and that's why she's good. See, I couldn't say, and I heard the man of God say, we don't want no woman with no mouths. I'm telling you, I came with some mouths to my husband. I'm trying to tell you. I mean, I'm talking about been going through some mouths. Not them kind of mouths, but I done been through something. But at the end of the day, God says, you know what? I can really use you. Because see, you just like a Mercedes Benz. Even with them mouths, you still effective. You still good. You still can go. You still got a lot of time on you. Oh my God. Because I wish I was when I met my husband, I wish I could come and say, oh yes, I am. You know, I'm like, child, look, this is what you get right here. Take it or leave it. I don't have much, but I got some favor.
I'll take it.
But see, sometimes we don't understand that, you know, even though you've gone through something, you have gone through some turbulent stuff. And that'll shut us down right there. I ain't worthy. The devil is a lie. You better pick yourself up and go on and make your testimony pay you, baby. All that hell you've been through, put it in a book. That's what I tell RP. I tell the ladies at the prison. No, you don't have to get out of here and go back to doing the same thing you used to do. Make your testimony pay you. Baby, the stuff that you've been through, somebody need to read about it. Somebody come hear you speak because you got a mighty testimony. You can build your business around it. Baby, you can be a life coach because you messed up so much. Now you perfected it. My God. Now preach. Because they saw you, they saw your past. And that couldn't even stop purpose and destiny over your life. Oh yeah, you saw me at the club, but baby, I'm still clubbing for Jesus now. Oh, I got that same tenacity. Oh, I got that same swag. Oh, I'm still, the power that's on the inside of me is still there. Open, but don't play with it. Don't play with it. That's why I can't do religion. Yeah, I can't do religion because it bounds you back to what God has delivered you out of. Yes, I'm a church girl. Yes, I got the Holy Ghost. Yes, I speak in tongues. Yes, I pray. Yes, I love covenant. Yes, all of that. But God uses me the way He made me. You don't change your identity. You don't change the essence of who you are. God says, I want to use that good, that Quincy, that back St. John. I want to use that vernacular because I'm going to touch nations with it. You don't have to change and say, oh, well, I'm Dr. What? Y'all, oh, Lord, have mercy. I forgot where I was. No, people are looking for authenticity. They're looking for realness. They can tell when you're authentic. They can tell when what's on the inside of you is pure. You know, even though you make a mistake, what's in me is pure. That's the thing that get me back on track. That's what I love about her so much. Because she's just real about it. And what God is about to do in her life is going to blow the mind. Yes, it's going to blow the mind. You're in that stage of preparation right now. But what God is about to do in the stages that He's about to put you on is going to blow your mind. The shifting that's taking place. It's not by accident that you were, oh my God, given to this woman right here. Because He knew that this woman had what it takes to birth out what you need for where you're going. Oh my God, my God. Oh yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And that's what God is doing. He's the ones that has been overlooked. The ones with the real oil. The ones who they say, oh, who she thinks she is. I don't like her shoes, so I ain't invite her to my church. I don't care if you don't like my shoes. The world is my pulpit, baby. I started preaching in the prisons and I decided, oh, y'all don't hear me. I was at the Atlanta Union Mission preaching to hundreds of women who are homeless. That's where it all started at. Y'all looking for somebody to invite you in, baby. You better sit down. You better set your table. You better set your table and tell them you come sit here. Waiting on somebody to put you in the pool. No more. Ladies. No more. People think you crazy when God starts shifting you. I was in the midst of so many people and I was going and going and going and going, and it was just photo ops. I was like, this ain't no ministry. I don't got time to be taking no pictures with you just to be taking pictures with you. There's some real work out there that needs to be done. That's why I'm on FSU campus. That's why I'm in Gaston County. That's why I'm doing the other things that I'm doing and getting paid. Yeah, I ain't gonna say I ain't getting paid when I'm going taking the pictures with you. I got a light bill. I got children. God, we got condos. Taking no doggone pictures to say, oh, I was over there, I was here. I ain't got time for that in this season right here. Everything I do is on purpose. It's on purpose. It's all about purpose. And ladies, I'm telling you what God has placed on the inside of you is so powerful and it's so good and it's so effective because see, people, they take that word and they just like, no, you ain't just good because somebody just come against my little word. What she said, she's good. No, we blessed and highly favored, baby. If you read your Bible and go back to the book of Genesis, God didn't say all of that other stuff. He said you were good. He looked back, he created everything. He looked back and said, oh, that's good right there. He did. And then I was like, okay, God, well, what does that mean? He says the word good, if you go and do your research on that word good, it means effective. It means that you're in working order. Oh, God. Even though you've gone through, you're still good. You're effective. You're in working order. That I have some work to do. I can still use you. I can see even through the stuff. You took I got my dates mixed up. That's what God do when he changes. Oh God, when you go through it and come out without, you don't even know. But one of them years back there was either 9, 10, or 11. I don't know. But I had to leave everything in Atlanta, and I had to leave it all. I had to leave everything just to live. And I came back and I slept on the floor. Elle can tell you. I said, you know what? The same God that built us up. The last time I said, He gonna do it again. Slept on the floor. My children would use mattresses that I sprayed, used stuff, this and that. But I knew it was God. I knew He was setting me up. Y'all don't realize, you know the sacrifice. You look at people like, well, why stuff happening to her, but you don't know the sacrifice that she had to go through. You don't know the sacrifice she made. I'm telling you. And so now, to walk in, I'm like, oh my God, do y'all know that there was a day when I was trying to get away? So I needed my life. And I needed to get home. We didn't have no money. And Elle and I went to this church, a big Caucasian church down in Eagles Landing and around McDonough. That's where we was living. And I said, I gotta go. I gotta make this shift because I'm not going back in this cycle. Yeah, I know who He is, but I don't know who I am. I'm praying for Him, but I'm the one being, no. I said, Lord, you need to deliver me. I need deliverance right now. We went to the church and we walked in there and we asked the people, can you help us with gas to get home? Y'all don't hear this, though. No, and y'all know you can't believe it now because I'm walking in overflow. Yes, but this is what I had to go through, where somebody had to give me gas cards to get home. I'm telling you, people don't realize I had to leave it all. I'm talking about when I lived in a little $1 million home. I said live because it didn't mean nothing. If God wasn't in it, why was I there? Driving the best of cars and all that kind of stuff. But because of purpose, I knew I had to leave.
That's good.
God says, if you go back, I'm going to restore you. He says, you didn't leave. You didn't just up and leave for nothing. He says, you left an entire harvest. Y'all stop letting the enemy move you off your post. If God shift you, that's one thing. But do not let the enemy move you from the place where God has planted you. Because there's a harvest that's coming. There's a harvest that's owed to you that's coming. And so I come back and the Lord, my harvest starts popping up. I get a job. My job that before I left, my job was open again. Got the job. Then all of a sudden, I get a contract with DOC only because I'm volunteering at the prison, and they give they just offer me a contract to travel. So in one day I'm barely making $30,000 a year, and then in one day they offer me $34,000 more. So in $64,000, I'm like, oh God, I was just barely homeless. I was just hungry. I was eating egg sandwiches, and you telling me that I got this kind of money right now? That was like God right there. I'm like, that's the kind of stuff happens to me. Last Saturday, enemy, oh God, at the parade, ran into a contract. Y'all, I'm telling you. One of the senators, for your program, I'm going to fund it all the way throughout the summer. I got money for you. Oh my God. She's good. But there are some, they know my testimony. They know. Oh God, but they didn't know she was still good. Oh Lord Jesus, you good. Before y'all leave here today, that's gonna be embedded in you, and somebody gonna say something negative to you, and you just gonna say she's good. That's validation right there. When the enemy comes, it's validation that you know you're good. Because some folks have way more than you have, and they're still jealous of you. Why? I'm like, you got all that, and I'm right here. Yes, God. But it's because of what's on the inside of you. They can't handle it. It's too rich. Your cake is rich. What they say, I can't eat that right there. But there's somebody will devour that cake. Oh, I need this right here. I need this. did it, but it's just, they did it. It's their fault because everything that they did just stirred me up in my spirit. All of y'all telling me I can't. Yes, I can. Oh, yes, I can. Oh, I've been challenging myself to do more. Everything that I've been scared to do, I said I'm going to do it. Yeah, because sometimes we intimidate our own self. We shut our own self down. Oh, I ain't going to be able to do that. Stop with your pity party. Get up. Get up and live. Get up and live. My God, my God. Okay, y'all. Y'all got some questions. We're going to take a few questions because we got to get out of here, y'all. We got food, all this food back here. Come on, let's do the questions right quick. Chris, give us a little music as we get our questions. Just a few. We can't do all of them, just a few. Yeah, I'll pull them. Just a few. No, just because everybody ain't gonna go. So just give me what you got.
Somebody want to ask these questions.
Nobody have questions? This girl got 2 pages of questions on here. Still.
That's all right.
That's this one? Okay. All right. Okay. How do I start to speak on my molestation without hurting my family or shaming my mom, to help others know that they are not to be disrespected, looked over, looked down on, no matter who it is. And basically don't have to live with the threats and being scared of telling the truth, basically. So I'm gonna, one of y'all.
I'll be completely honest with you. As I told you before, write it down for yourself. Understand it for yourself first before you can give it to someone else. Because if you're not really knowing, you may have experienced it, but if you don't actually see it and you can actually kind of retain it first and accept it that it happened, and then when the question starts coming to you, you can easily regurgitate what it is that you experienced. Don't be afraid of it. It happened. And again, I'll be very transparent with you. I've never been molested, but I have been homeless. And people see stuff on social media. Oh, Nathan, you're doing so well. No, I can take you to Atlantic Station in Atlanta, Georgia, where I slept in my car. And nobody knew. But then I had to write it down. And now I can tell the testimony, because as I sat there and I'm telling you, I'm encouraging you, just like God encouraged me. As I sat in that parking lot, he gave me 2 words. Oh, he was like 3 words, I'm sorry. It was necessary. So once you realize that what you went through was necessary, your testimony, no matter what people try to say, your testimony can never be tainted. No test, no testimony. Write it down, retain it, regurgitate it. It'll be so much easier for you. Do the work necessary, but I guarantee you, God will make sure that you have that strength. Defeat has a look, but victory has a sound. So when it comes out of your mouth, victory will be very, very evident. It'll be very present for you.
As I went back and we just began to look over what you wrote, how do I start to speak on my molestation without hurting my family, shaming, let me just say family. God's going to give you wisdom. Jesus said this to his disciples. He said, I will give you the mouth of wisdom that your adversaries can gainsay. Okay? According to this, you didn't deserve to go through what you went through. None of you did. Because this statement may touch somebody else as well. But I believe that God is going to give you wisdom. God's going to begin to give you wisdom on what to say, when to say it, how to say it. It really says like this: I'll give you the mouth of wisdom that your adversaries can't gainsay. That word gainsay in the original Greek, it actually means contradict or resist. Unfortunately, in some of our older cultures, things like this wasn't. It was like taboo. You don't talk about it. But God is able to give you a voice and a platform where you can share it. Open confession is good for the soul. You may not be able to go back and can I just be a little transparent? I'm the last of 12. Okay? I'm gonna see if y'all can. Let me see how sharp y'all are. Let me see how sharp y'all are. My nephew, my sister's son, is my brother. And when my sister talks about that event at 67, she talks about it as if it just happened yesterday. You got me? So it has a lasting effect. Somebody said, but God. Somebody said, but God. The thing is, the reason I can say the but God part, the sister that I'm telling you about, in 1988, she was diagnosed with full-blown AIDS. In 1988. My baby sister was diagnosed with AIDS probably 12 years later. My older brother was diagnosed with AIDS probably 8 years after her. Somebody say, but God. But God. My baby sister died. My older brother died. But my older sister is still living. With everything she's been through, she's still living. Why? Because she has faith in God. 1988. Still going. So, you may not be able to talk to mama. Or if you do, just from my experience watching my mom and my sister deal, it's like a hole in the water. You got me? But she found a place in God. So I encourage you, find a place in God, talk to God about it, tell him about it, let him know it pissed you off, let him know how it makes you feel. He's okay, he can handle it. He can handle it. Find somebody, talk to them, let them know. But don't allow, because family members won't receive you and feel what you're saying, stop you from moving in purpose and destiny. You got me? So that's my little
My God, now that's good right there. JJ, did you want to chime in on that one? Okay. Do we have another question? We have another one? Really quickly.
What would you all advise or suggest to someone who can encourage others but find it a challenge to encourage themselves? When I say encourage, I mean like I can push you, I can see potential in you, I can push you to be everything I can see in you but can't see it in myself.
Okay. Dr. Connie, yes, she is. There you go.
Oh, gosh.
There you go.
I would first say this, is that the Bible says love your neighbor as you love yourself. So if you're encouraging everybody and not encourage yourself, you're out of order anyway. So the first thing you need to do is everything that you can say about everybody else, write it down. and say it about yourself. Because what we do for others should just be the overflow of what we give to ourselves. Shame on me to give you a gift card to a spa I've never been to. So I go first. And see, that's how we get in the thing that then we become jealous and envious, because in order for her to win, I gotta lose. It don't work like that. I gotta make sure that I'm winning and I leave the door open for her to win. So I'm saying this, turn on yourself. What you giving out, make a conscious decision on a daily basis to give it to you. And I'm telling you, it's gonna hit different when you give it to you first. Because a lot of us in this room are guilty of doing for others what we want done for us. But we think if I do it for you, you're going to do it for me. You ain't going to do it. It's my job to do it. I have to teach people how to treat me. Okay, I am getting started.
Test it.
That's our coach right there. Our coach. Yeah. Yes. That's our coach right there. Let me say I want to just break something over your life. I don't know where this thing came in at. I don't know where it came in. I do know it. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I do know where it came in. Years ago, I got an opportunity to go to Ringling Brother Barnum Bailey Circus. And at the circus, what I was fascinated with was the elephants. I wanted to see the elephant. I didn't understand then, but I understood later, especially after becoming a believer. It was amazing to me how this 5,000-pound animal, can I just stand up for a second? Had this chain around his ankle. And what the elephant would do, he would move. And he'd get to that spot and stop. And then he would move. And he'd get to this spot and stop. Didn't really mean nothing to me as a kid. But once I became an adult, and I began to have my own self-image problems, and I began to develop some self-image, low self-esteem, and just different things of that nature. It came back to me that why is it that this elephant cannot just with one break the chain? The reason that he couldn't break the chain is because the chain was put on the elephant when it was a baby. There's some things that's been spoken in your life and over your lives. They came in when you was a child. Anybody know anything about spiritual warfare? I believe that the majority of demons that operate in the lives of people today, they came in when they were children. My area is early childhood development. That's why you got me? So today I believe through the She's Good conference, She's Good empowerment, that God is giving you strength to break every chain that the enemy has tried to connect to you. Somebody say, break the chain. You messed me up. I'm going to tell you right now, you say, I'm trying to come behind y'all. See, now, when you start talking about them serpents being underneath your feet, huh? That right there, baby. 100% genuine python serpents. And where are they? Under my feet. That's what God want to do. Put them serpents under your feet. Break every chain. Sister, break every chain. Break every chain. Jesus said it best. Jesus said it best. This was my encouragement right here. You ready? Love your neighbor like you love yourself. This brother right here, I love me. I really love me. And I can't love her the way she needs to be loved until I love me. I can't love my children the way they need to be loved until I love me. I can't love my church family the way I need to love them until I love me. Pat yourself and say, I love me. This for somebody out there that may say, you know, I love myself so much, I'm not even going to try to hurt me no matter what's going on. Because when I was homeless, my school next door had a storage room. I slept in the storage room for 4 months because I was homeless. And she dated me. And she knew I was there. But she saw something greater in me. She saw purpose. She saw destiny. That's why I support what she do. And encourage her. And cover her. Girl, go do what you do. I got your back.
Amen. Dr. Nikki, can I just say something to her?
Yeah, I was just, thank you. Yes.
I want to add to everything that I think you should take some time and process why. A lot of times, you know, I'm just telling myself first before I say all of this. So, I may or may not been a little hood before I was holy. So, the street me has this ideal, and I live by the principle of loyalty. So, I've been telling people a lot lately that my principle, my street loyalty is colliding with my Christianity. Lately, and so what I have just learned, I'm saying this because I think that I have recently just discovered this about myself, is that sometimes what we call encouraging people and being so loyal is a means of trying to get approval or self-affirmation or wanting and begging for love and acceptance. And we do it and we put Christ's tag on it, or we'll do it like me. I just live off principles, but I'm so loyal. But no, you just disloyal to dysfunction. I'm not saying that for you. That's just was me. And I'll be like, oh, that's just my street code. You just real loyal. No, you just real hungry for love. And you just accepting things that you shouldn't be accepting. And then you putting in the tag, well, I'm just loyal, or I just love people, or God just called us to love people. So I would really say take the time to process, why do you feel the need to give someone something that you're not giving yourself? And that may not happen on an altar. That may happen on a couch. Because it's probably something that just didn't start the last 5-10 years. A lot of what we do for the seeking of approval from people, or just accepting a lot, we have this increased capacity for dysfunction and toxicity, but we don't even realize that we kind of was taught to put up with that. Or you maybe in your childhood felt like you had to beg for a parent's attention, or you had to be good so that somebody could like you or something. So a lot of those roots start from childhood, and then we grow up as adults and think, oh, we just so loyal, or we just love people, or we just giving people something that we're not giving ourselves. So we could say all day, stop doing that for people, but it's not actually going to stop until you get to the root and process, why am I this way? Why am I this way? Why do I feel the need to cover up secrets? I guarantee you, if you go back to your bloodline, you will talk to keep secrets. You saw that. You witnessed that. Y'all gotta break these cycles. You gotta break these cycles. You gotta go back to your bloodline, to your generation, and see what was there, and do and write a new narrative. And that may not happen. I'm sorry, that just may not always happen from you getting your hands laid on. Sometimes that may happen. You might need to sit with someone week after week to pull back the layers of, why do I feel like I have to do this to have approval for someone? So, because I'm getting my master's in counseling, and so I always try to bring the balance to church, into Christianity, that a lot of stuff we can speak and we can pray it away, and then some stuff we just gonna have to talk it away. And you have to maybe peel back the layers of why. So I just want to leave you with that. And that may not always have to be just with a counselor. Maybe you can start journaling. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe you can be more self-aware, that pay attention to the times and when you are doing the need to over-encourage someone. Is it a time where you feel vulnerable? Maybe sometimes you're giving away what you actually are asking for yourself.
So you have to just be more self-aware. And a lot of it doesn't really have to, always be sitting on the couch. Sometimes we just need to slow down and pay attention. Pay attention to what are you doing? Why am I doing? What am I doing? Pay attention to the patterns of when am I most likely to do that. It may be a certain time of the month, a certain time of the year. It may be around the time of the year where you lost a loved one, where you always tripping and slipping and dipping. You know what I'm saying? You got to figure out the root and process the why before you can handle the what. So I'm just encouraging you to take some time, love on yourself, get you a journal, or get you a therapist, or get you a good girlfriend, and make somebody sit in front of you and ask you the hard questions. And if y'all know her and she's always encouraging y'all, then y'all pour back into her. Y'all pour back into her, and every time she give you a compliment, you make her stop and say, now tell me something you love about yourself. Or get some girlfriends around you to say, hey, now you have acknowledged that you want to stop doing this. So a good girlfriend will call you out on it. You doing that again. Stop. You're doing that again. And sometimes you have to be the good girlfriend to yourself. Driving in the car and you feel the need to be all toxic and calling somebody on the phone and cursing. You have to tell yourself sometimes, stop. We're not doing that no more. We're not doing it no more. Or just stop and say, that's the 10-year-old in me. She is healed and redeemed. She has no say over my thought life. God bless you.
Amen. I told you. This has just been so good. Dr. Connie, did you have anything else to add on to that? Because I'm telling you, bubbling. I can't wait till tomorrow. Y'all, I'm wearing tennis shoes. I might put on a hat, tennis shoes. I'm taking my ponytail line. Y'all know that ponytail look. I don't have no braids. I got a ponytail. But I'm telling you, I'm bubbling over. Who? Okay, come on. This is our last question because we will be here until 5 o'clock. Y'all, if y'all got questions, put them in the thing. We're going to pray over them. Amen? Because I'm telling you, I'm good about time. Like, because that's a lot of questions. Now, I see them all over this building. I see them. I'm telling you. But because of time right now, JJ. Okay, y'all, JJ, I'm going to put her in this front office. I'm going to put her in the front office, and I need y'all to line up and go in there. I need some internship hours. So y'all. Oh, yeah, so she got all day. See, me, I'm going home with my husband. Let me pray this on some of y'all, please. But she's really good at that, though. For real, though. Y'all need to connect with her. So this is our last question. We're going to move on because we got to eat, okay? All right. Driana.
Okay, so it's not actually a question. It was a reference to what you asked the question of. So really quick, I talked to Dr. Nikki early this week, and I was really busy today, and she was like, hey, come out to the brunch. And I was like, okay, and I forgot my son had a baseball game. But anyway, that's why we were late, so but God always puts you where you need to be. Yes. And so the question you asked, I asked that last year. And I asked it last year because in March of last year, I was severely depressed and I wanted to take my life. Wow. But God. So I was doing what she was doing. I sent a text through my whole contact list. I would be on Facebook encouraging everybody, but I'm like, well, God, why nobody encouraging me? And God allowed me to go through what I went through, and it was a season of, we call it aloneness, but you're not alone. You with God. But I was sick for 10 months last year. And people who know me, they know this. But God kept me. And I was out. I felt alone. I'm like, where are my friends at? Where's everybody at? But God said, I need you by yourself because I need to talk to you. Come on now. And that's where when they was talking about give your pain a voice, I was ashamed to talk about depression because we don't talk about that. Right. But God said last year in March, you will talk about that. So now He let me know what the problem is I didn't think I mattered. I didn't know my worth. I didn't know I was good. So all this is played into it because I'm like, God, I needed this. Thank you, Jesus. But I was singing for a purpose for you. Because the same question you asked, I asked that last year. And God wants you to know that you matter, that you're worthy. I did what you did because I wanted the attention back, just like she said. But you don't need nothing, no attention but from God. The love you're seeking is what God has. And I can tell you this because I've been through that. But now my pain has a voice. And I can speak to it. And I can speak to you saying, you are good. And you are worthy. And you matter.
Yes.
As long as you get that, you will always be fine. And you can still send those encouraging texts and those stuff on Facebook because I still do it. Because guess what? I got up in the morning, I look in the mirror, and I tell myself first what I'm going to tell the world.
That's it. That's it. Yes. Oh, that's awesome. Powerful. My God. Y'all, thank God for her. And y'all, I know her testimony. She's been in this hospital. She's telling the truth. And so she invited me to come and speak at her conference. Now she's having an empowerment thing. What is it? I Matter? I Matter happening in June. So yes, you can connect with her and get more information about it. V, if you would come up right quick, y'all, this is so good. It's just like, oh God. I'm saying JJF over there for real though. And I'm telling y'all, go in the booth. Just go. You know how? Yeah, go in the booth.
I'm going.
Go get it.
I will say this though, to you real quick, and my life coach. Yes. As of today, she got a new client. As of today. Hallelujah. She got 2. There you go. All right. Anybody else? 3, 4. Everybody. I'm going to tell you this. She basically hit it right on. She hit it on the head. She was talking about the overflow. You have a saucer. All the good stuff, like if you have tea, you have coffee, all of the good stuff is actually in the saucer. And then it overflows. I mean, it's always in the cup and it overflows into the saucer. Stop giving people your cup and you're just drinking out of the saucer.
Oh my God! Drop the mic.
That's not fair to you.
It's not.
Everyone, and the thing about it is, you're saying that you just, my young lady right here, you asked that question last year. I asked that question last week. In an area where everybody wants to be motivated, everybody wants to be a motivational speaker, it's hard to encourage and motivate when you're not encouraged and motivated. Stop giving your cup away and only drinking out of your saucer.
That's powerful.
Get everything you need out of your cup first. And if there's any left over,
Pour it out.
pour it out.
That's powerful.
Keep your cup. Share your saucer.
Saucer. There you go. Share your saucer. My God. Lord. Now see. Jesus. That's my baby back there. She always get it. She get it all the time. But amen. This is so rich and so good, and I think we need these conversations. I think we need another day. Like I'm talking about just this right here. Let's just talk it out. Another thing, pray. Okay, we praying, but we got to get up and talk and walk. I'm telling you, it's time to walk some stuff out. But before we go into our next, food and all this stuff, like, because even when we eat, we can ask y'all can ask me all the questions you want after that. I'm hungry. Okay. Okay. So right now, what we're going to do is we want to bless our panel guests. God couldn't have chosen better guests because y'all are pouring out richness. Richness. And then my coach, now I'm a little territorial. I don't play about my coach. But I went through her certification class, and now
I'm not only a certified life coach, but I am a certified life coach trainer. So I have now trained, how many? I think we had 9 last month certified life coaches who are people who are actually working in their area. Yes, yes, yes. And you don't have to be perfect to be certified. I'm going to leave that right there. But this woman is so powerful. She's reached beyond the church. Like she preached. If you come tomorrow, I'm telling you, wear your tennis shoes. I'm going to just tell you right now. I'm talking about prophetic wisdom and revelation. That's how she flows. And that's why she coached so well. And we had, last year, we had about 20 that went through the training. And I'm telling you, so when I went through it, I didn't know that all of this stuff was going to open up over my life. I mean, door after door after door, just because I took the step just to be trained. That's what God, where your faith at? You take the first step. Some of you, you don't know how good you are because you have not taken the first step to do what it is that God has called you to do. But we honor these guests. We honor Dr. Connie and all of you that are here. I gotta move forward. Okay, so